Okay, so it's group 8. Here we are again, and we are covering Unit 3, the ISTE standards addressed within Unit 3. All right, and I'm going to start off. First of all, I thought it was interesting that many of the technologies that we read about this week weren't actually developed for educational purposes, but they found their way into improving our teaching and learning abilities. So I looked at the ISTE standards for teachers and how we should be modeling digital age work and learning, exhibiting the knowledge, skills, and work processes representative of an innovative professional in a global and digital society. So the first thing we should be doing as teachers is transferring current knowledge to new technologies, and this can be done in a learning commons environment where you have a makerspace along with teachers and library media specialists that are collaborating together and providing that environment for students to be exploring new technologies. And then secondly, teachers should be collaborating using digital tools to support student success and innovation. And I thought it was interesting the example that they gave of the teacher with the GoPro that was attached to the remote control car that went through the campus and looking at the different activities, and then how they put that into the morning announcements. And so I thought that was pretty innovative, a neat digital tool there. And then teachers should be communicating effectively using digital age media and formats. I was not familiar with Periscope, but I went on and looked at it. It's more of a Twitter integrated app, but it's live videos. And some people are on live, and then some videos are just there that you can view after they have finished. And last night there was a guy in Africa doing safari and talking about the wild animals, and I thought that would be neat for a virtual field trip. There's also performances, and then teachers could also upload homework assistance for their students using that app. And then, of course, smartwatches, staying in touch with their parents and then their students if they're on the go. And then finally, teachers should effectively use digital tools to support research and learning. And the adaptive learning was interesting, where students can access programs online, and they're constantly being assessed on how they're doing with their objectives. And then there's a report for the teacher that helps her provide intervention for struggling students, and then advanced courses for her students that are performing really well. They even push some high school students into college level courses. So we were assured that computers are not going to replace teachers, but it's definitely helping us be more personal in our instruction.
Okay, my ISTE standards was for students in communication and collaboration. The communication collaboration focused on how students use digital media environments to communicate work, to work together, and to support the individualized learning. Technology operation and concepts, basically, are students able to demonstrate and use the technology that they have. My first communication collaboration was the bring your own devices. My Horizon report was based on the museum, the 2016 Horizon report, and they had actually started using personalized learning and greater communication and collaboration with the patrons' own devices. So one thing they learned really quick on is to have a policy in place depending on what is being displayed at the museum. Another way they did it was gamification. So they integrated games and game-based learning. This is something that, again, they're bringing to the school setting, and something personally I'd like to see in the library. Using games as a way for students to understand content. That's pretty much self-explanatory. Like, for example, we're doing GT projects right now, and we're using where the students had to create a budget, and in order to create whatever their budget was set in place in Minecraft, they had to price it according to what was available in Minecraft. Maker, of course, is something museums are also bringing. Actually, I think they're kind of ahead of the race on us with Makerspace. There's Makerspace, Tinkerspace, and Inventorspace. Each one offers a hands-on, a lot more technological than just, the run-of-the-mill, here's a kit, put a bracelet together kind of thing. So, but again, thank you.
All right, so I had the standards for coaches. I was using the not the museum one. I was using the report, the 2015 K through 12 edition. So it says here, technology coaches create and support the digital age learning environment to maximize learning of all students. So what I focused on was what was going on at my school, how many of these things were actually showing up in these last couple of years. So on the next page, you'll see the first thing that I talked about was consumer technologies. And according to the report, those are things that find their way into schools because people are using them at home. And the one that stuck out to me was tablet computing. That's obviously the one that is used the most. We have 6 iPad carts. They're downloaded with quite a few number of approved apps. They're checked out on a daily basis. I would say that science teachers use them the most. The problems we encounter, though, are connectivity issues and kids messing around and locking the screens, which make them unusable until our IT person can get them from the cloud. Digital strategies are using certain devices to enrich the classroom experience. And like we mentioned before, bring your own devices and maker spaces. Those are kind of the 2 things that a lot of schools are focusing on. The bring your own devices theoretically sounds wonderful, but we've encountered some problems with it. We actually just got a survey recently asking teachers for their input about bring your own devices, how many actually use it. And out of 21 teachers, only 5 actually used it like on a daily basis. One comment said that in 6th grade, there's not a high enough number of kids who own their device, so they just skip it altogether. And obviously the biggest problem is that they end up texting with each other and not using it for what it's supposed to be used for. Makerspace, it's the big catchword for the library, well, specifically my library. You know, is it where you can learn about STEM subjects? We don't have one. It's pricey. Logistically, it's hard to get one, to find the room for it, but we hope to kind of be heading that way. Roman numeral 3, learning technologies. These are strategies that are changing the landscaping of learning. And we talked about online learning. That's the one thing that stuck out to me. Obviously, at my middle school, we do not have online learning as in what we're doing now, but there are a few programs that ask the kids to do their work online, things like Think Through Math. The teachers want them to use the Khan Academy, and so that's kind of where our school is going towards. And the last thing are the visualization technologies, and it explained it as it helps make the complex simple. And this, I put 3D printing. We were lucky enough that we actually had a parent donate a 3D printer to our technology teacher. Obviously the teacher's there guiding the way, helping the students see things in a different way. He teaches them a program where they actually have to learn how to make it prior to printing it. We're the only middle school right now to have a 3D printer, but the technology teacher, was actually telling me that there are numerous schools in our area that put in for grants. So definitely I would say some of our standards, some of these coaches, these IT people that are helping out, digital learning specialists, you know, they're working with what we got.
Hi, my name is Andrew, and I read the Horizon Report for Higher Education 2017, and my ITSE standards also focused on, I focused on the ITSE Standard 3, standards for administrators, the digital age learning culture. And basically what this focuses on, again, is the environment, how we get support from our administrators. And in my case, and you know, where I work at, it's educational administrators. They create, promote, and sustain a dynamic digital age learning culture that provides a rigorous, relevant, and engaging education for all students. One of the things that I focused on, just like Ashley did, is what's actually happening in Boy Scouts of America. How are we supported? How is our learning culture supported by our administrators? Our Boy Scouts of America learning administrators have invested resources. I said last week, we invested $85,000 towards our training efforts. And the efforts were to provide us with many digital resources of information and on-hand training so that we are all well informed and prepared to discharge our responsibilities as district executives. 3 of the programs that we use, they're kind of cool. And the key thing here is we didn't have these programs for the longest time. We operate actually with a lot of paper training materials. And one of the 3 that really stuck out are mybsa.org. Like I said, it provides 24-hour access to unit demographics such as location, the size of unit, and whether it's a troop, group, or pack designation. And what's cool about this is there's times when we're out in the field and we're making our visits and we need that information. So a lot of this is information that, actually, gives us a refresher. Okay, what's going on? What am I dealing with? And so mybsa.org, we use it quite a lot. Scouting U, this is the Boy Scouts of America Training University. Access is granted throughout our entire career. So if I decide to spend 20 years in Boy Scouts, I've got access to that information. Let me see. Okay, and so we're given the opportunity to revisit areas that we may be weak in, such as fundraising, business administration, networking, and it can be we can also use it as a refresher course. So a lot of times we go to training, and it might be something that we took 6 weeks ago. Well, what this does, it allows us to go back and go through the whole process again, so we can get a refresher. Another tool that's kind of cool within our organization is called Commissioner's Tools, and it's a training tool that, again, is available to district executives throughout our career. This tool provides district and unit-specific position training, such as youth protection training and unit management, first aid, how to conduct outdoor camping, and emergency situation type of training. What do you do in case you need to provide, there's a thunderstorm outside. So we constantly have this training, because honestly, after you take this kind of training down the road, it's always nice to be able to go back and reflect on it and try to touch base with it again, so that we know what we're doing. So these are just 3 of the programs that the Boy Scouts uses. I use them a lot every day. And like I said, we didn't always have these. This is something that's really grown to fruition within the last 3 to 5 years, and it's constantly being developed. And from what I understand is our learning administrators are actually working on bringing new programs to help us communicate better. And so anyways, that's my section. And I do want to thank you guys for watching our video. Does anybody have any input that you want to share?
No, we're good.
Keep smiling.